It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Monday, the 24th of November. I'm Michael Groff. Gradually on the mend here. My voice back to almost 60% this morning. I've got tea, I've got some coffee, and so I am ready to go and knock out another video for you guys today. Thank you again for all the well wishes. Really do appreciate that. All right, the weather quieting down for at least most of this holiday week. Dry conditions, periods of high clouds coming through. That's going to be about the only sensible weather, and a warming trend. Temperatures going back to above seasonal averages, at least for a little while. But then the weather turns quite a bit more interesting and uncertain as we head later into the weekend and the first part of next week. A rather cold upper trough of low pressure is shown to drop into the western states, but exactly where it goes, the magnitude, the timing of that system, well, that's the $64,000 question, or series of questions, if you will. So we'll try to figure all that out and everything else as we dive on in and discuss. Before we do that, let me show you this. This was the scene a little earlier this morning up in Sedona. Some dense fog across central and northern Arizona. Obviously, with all that precipitation we had over the weekend, there's some fog around the state. Now, by the time you watch this, of course, that's going to be gone. There might just be a little bit of fog again tonight, but for the most part, conditions will be fairly quiet. All right, the almanac from yesterday here in Phoenix, 65 degrees was the afternoon high. 56 was that low temperature. 73 and 51 are the averages for this time of year. We picked up 1/100th of an inch of rain officially in the bucket at Sky Harbor. And by the way, you saw it in our thumbnail, but I'll show you the graphic here too. We have set a record. This has been the wettest fall, meteorological fall, the period of September, October, and November on record, surpassing the previous record of 1939, which had 6.18 inches. And of course, 2018 and 2014, although those years really had one or two very big events that brought in all the precipitation. But regardless, it's been a pretty wet fall here, just what we needed across the state. So that is great news. All right, outside now here at 8:45 a.m. We've got mostly sunny sky, 55 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points 52, relative humidity 88%. The air is calm, the barometer rising. Satellite out here across the west. Check it out. We put it in motion, that system that brought all the unsettled weather on Saturday night, and a little bit yesterday. That's lifting on out. And so behind it, high pressure is building in. The heights are rising, drying the air out. And so we are going to see that warming trend for a while. The watch warning map, a lot of dense fog across the country. Now, when I put together this graphic, there was a dense fog advisory north of us across parts of Yavapai and Coconino County. That has since expired. We've had some dense fog this morning over parts of the plains, from the Midwest to the southeast. We have a winter storm watch over portions of North Dakota, extreme northeast South Dakota, parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin. That's for late tonight, tomorrow, and into early Wednesday. And the snowflakes, the treacherous travel up there. So do be aware of that. All right, the convective outlook. We've got the slight risk of severe storms, level 2 out of 5 around Houston over to Shreveport and Jackson, Mississippi. The tropics and the Atlantic, the Caribbean, the Gulf, nothing going on here. The East Pacific, nothing going on. We can pretty much put the tropical season to bed, despite some of the alarmists on social media foretelling of a major hurricane in the Gulf in a week, but I don't think we're going to see that. The precipitation outlook, this is valid through Monday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, hey, we might see anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch here over the south central deserts, including Phoenix. The WPC guys have this right at the very end of this period, though, next Sunday into Sunday night. And I will say there is still a lot of uncertainty as to how things will play out as we go forward, but we're going to do what we do here and try to figure that out to the best of our ability right now as we get to the models. Take a look at things. This is the GFS. It is the 060 run valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. What you're looking at here is that upper chart where the pressure is 500 millibars, and that's approximately 18,000 feet ASL above sea level. All right, still have a bit of a ridge over the east. We got that system that's lifting out into the northern plain states, and that's going to create some snow and some icy conditions and very chilly weather up that way. But for us, high pressure is building in. The heights are coming back up, a dry west-northwesterly flow. So what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, mostly sunny sky, not much to worry about there. Yeah, a few clouds, that's it. High temperatures, upper 60s here in Phoenix. Tonight, there'll be some clouds around at times. Overnight lows, mid-40s to low 50s. And then tomorrow, again, we are mostly sunny. There, again, periods of high clouds, I would say, but mostly sunny to partly cloudy here. High temperatures, upper 60s, low 70s. We'll warm it up a little bit further on Wednesday, the busiest travel day of the year. High temperatures generally in the mid 70s in Phoenix. Some of the latest guidance pushing highs towards 76 or 77 degrees, which is above seasonal averages. Nothing record breaking at all, but it'll be a nice warm day. Thanksgiving looks like there'll be a few more clouds around. We're looking at partly to mostly cloudy sky through the day on Thanksgiving. But again, no precipitation is expected out of that, just mid and high level clouds. If you have any outdoor activities, the weather's not going to be a problem. In fact, might shield you from the sun a little bit. So, but temperatures should still be in the low to mid 70s here in Phoenix. The official forecast high 76. I'd say we'll be around 72 to 76, depending on where you are here in Phoenix. Up in the high country, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Just gorgeous weather. You can't beat it. All right, here's Friday. We're still looking pretty nice around here. Again, a mix of sun and clouds. High temperatures will top out in the mid 70s. Now, as we head to the weekend, this is where the forecast uncertainty starts to come into the mix. You know, this run of the GFS has started a trend here. Actually, it's been coming for the last couple of runs now. Initially, we were looking at this big trough of low pressure, this cold upper trough dropping in across the west and taking more of an overland trajectory. And, you know, we talked about that in yesterday's video. And if that were to happen, conditions around here would be mainly dry. Yes, we could see some showers, but nothing like what we saw from the previous couple of systems that came through here. However, this run in particular shows the trough beginning to push. It's a little bit further to the west, coming down the west coast. Now, still not the greatest trajectory, but certainly trending further west. Now, that would also slow down its ingress here into the southwest U.S. So what we'll see on Saturday, if this is to be taken at face value, and we're kind of watching some trends that might suggest this system comes in a little slower, we're still mostly sunny to partly cloudy on Saturday with high temperatures likely getting into the low 70s. Now here's Sunday. That system is getting closer. Now we'll see some rain for southern central California, some mountain snow, and probably precipitation knocking on the door at that point. Right now, our forecast is still leaned ever so slightly toward that slightly faster solution. And so we've introduced some rain chances on Sunday. We might just go ahead and take those out. If this is slower, we might have to wait till late Sunday afternoon, Sunday night before we introduce any rain chances here. But that's if the GFS is correct. But some of the other models have started to slow down this. Now, again, there's a lot of different solutions here, and the trajectory of this is going to make all the difference in the world, right? So if this comes in overland, it might be a colder system. This might suggest it's still cold, but has a little bit more moisture with it, so we'll see. But either way, temperatures should cool down at least a bit on Sunday. Right now, we're going with low to mid 60s, but if this system is indeed a little bit slower, high temperatures might actually top out in the upper 60s or even close to 70. All right, a week from today, this is Monday, the 1st of December. It's the start of meteorological winter, and it's going to start to feel like it around here because that's a cold upper trough, folks, coming on in here. And again, the GFS takes it a little slower and a little further west. And so we'd have scattered to numerous showers and some mountain snow. The snow level will be coming down. Temperatures here in Phoenix, probably upper 50s for our highs if this comes to fruition next Monday. But once again, this is, we're out here in Uncertaintyville. There's no question about that. All right. This is Tuesday, the 2nd of December. And again, that area of low pressure is here over the southwest. We would be cool and unsettled if this verifies. My apologies, had to take a sip there. Throat's a little parched. And then going out 10 days, This is Wednesday, the 3rd of December. And that is that's a trough that's now beginning to shear out, and conditions are drying out around here. But we have another system there off the Pacific Northwest. Looks like kind of a double barrel action there to the north and west of us. And we're going to see how that plays out. But kind of model chaos there off the GFS. Very weird kind of setup. And I'm not sure I totally buy into that solution. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix. This goes out through the 8th of December, the greatest day on the calendar. And this is off of the GFS ensemble. If this is right, the ensemble mean is about 1.25 inches, denoting that most of the precipitation, what would occur, will be 7 days out and beyond. So we'll be into the very last hours of November, or more likely into the first week of December before we see any more precipitation. European ensemble, pretty much in the same boat here, about 1.25 inches is the ensemble mean. European AI, about the same thing. In fact, maybe approaching 1.5 inches. Temperatures off the national blend of models. Warmer this week. Highs getting up in the mid-70s. Warmest desert spots might even be pushing upper 70s. And then temps will trend down as we head into the weekend and next week. And again, if that deeper trough solution does come to fruition, temps will be lower than what is shown here. CPC outlook, Climate Prediction Center, the 8 to 14 day period. This is for December the 1st through the 7th. If this is right, temperatures still skewed toward below average for the first week of December, and precipitation is still skewed above average for the first week of December. And I know people are saying, well, what about this La Nina? Is it actually going to be dry? Well, we're not even in winter yet, so we'll see how it plays out. But hey, let's get all the rain we can out of the way right now. Let's get it all, as much of that rain as we can before that potential of a much drier winter comes on in. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy these videos, you want to support us, well, by all means, do so by clicking that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make that contribution to us, or via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo is also linked up down in the description below. All right, obviously, my voice is coming back, but it doesn't have the endurance like it normally does. That's for sure. We'll see, though. We'll keep it going. All right, the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, and proprietor of SweetChildAZ.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Kylie related, Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description below. Our streaming station is also linked up down below. Check that out, as is Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files, and YouTube, courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. And thank you guys so much for watching and for bearing with me while I'm still dealing with this damn laryngitis. It's like my least favorite thing to get. I would rather have, well, I'm not even going to, I'll get demonetized if I tell you what I'd rather have, but pretty much like 90% of things I'd rather have than laryngitis. All right. I mean, I don't have the looks. All I've got is the voice, and I don't have the voice either. So it's tough, man. It's a rough life. Hashtag rough life. All right. Thank you guys again so much for watching and bearing with me. Please be safe, and you guys have yourselves a delightful rest of your Monday.